The second season of any chapter is far more important than you may realize. Season 2s in Fortnite have always managed to change the game up a ton, honestly, even more than Season 1s did.
We're gonna go to the black market. We're gonna buy some illegal weapons. This is Fortnite now.
They've been like this ever since the very beginning, back in Chapter 1. And ever since then, every single Season 2, except for Chapter 5, has managed to bring a ton of new stuff that basically defines the rest of the chapter, sometimes the rest of the game. And now, with the newest Season 2 releasing just a couple of days ago, and the oldest Season 2 returning back after years, how about we look back on them and see what they did? Let's talk Chapter 1 Season 2. Seriously, where would we be right now if it weren't for this season? This season has added staples to Fortnite that still affect the game to this day, and improved the very foundation of Chapter 1 to begin with. We got the very massive map update. That's a big thing right there already. Boom! Entire left side of the map changes. It gives us popular POIs like Tilted Towers, Shifty Shafts, and a couple of other places. We got important healing items like mini shields and ChuggaChugs. If you think about it, we didn't really get much healing after that until all the way up in Season 9. This season is where Fortnite started to ramp up and shape into the Fortnite that you guys know today. And honestly, that's awesome. Impulses, that was the start of movement. We started getting more unique weapons like the suppressed SMG and the minigun. Basically, you compare Season 2 to Season 1, it's like night and day. Season 2 isn't at that sweet spot that Chapter 1 had yet, but it's far better than Season 1 was. Heck, you even look to today, you look at Fortnite OG, which is now in Season 2, and it feels so much better to play than Season 1 did. There's more places on the map you can go. There's more weapons that we're going to be able to use. We just got back the ChuggaChug and minigun. The jump from Season 1 to Season 2 in the OG mode made it feel like a basic game with nothing going for it to Fortnite in its early stage. If that makes sense. Chapter 2 Season 2 is a fan favorite season of pretty much everyone that plays this game. I mean, hey, when we went back to Fortnite Remix, they were like, oh yeah, content from Seasons 1 through 3. And it was really just Season 2. Now, this is where you can start to see the whole Season 2 effect take place. When we got to Chapter 2 Season 1, there were a couple of new things, like we had swimming, fishing, fishing while swimming. But other than that, it was really just Chapter 1 on a brand new map. Chapter 2 Season 2, however, completely changed the game. We got bosses, we got mythic weapons, and we got vaults. And while yes, technically mythic weapons did exist in Chapter 1 with like the Thanos Gauntlet and the Infinity Blade, I'm talking mythic boss weapons. You know, the mythic weapons you get from killing bosses, the big defining part of Chapter 2 Season 2, the part about Fortnite that is still being used to this day. I mean, really enough said right there. That is a big feature. It kind of set up the rest of Chapter 2. Pretty much every season after that just, you know, had all the bosses and stuff and the mythics and the everything really. Heck, Season 3 is basically the same as Season 2, just with water. I can see why it's a fan favorite season. It added so much to the game. I mean, hey, we got 2 live events in one season, which I know that isn't really a Season 2 thing, that's just more of a that season thing. But I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was really cool. But we can't stay in Chapter 2 forever. So let's look on the flip side. Chapter 3 Season 2. Honestly, this probably changed up the game way more than a lot of other seasons. First off, we got new movement mechanics. Chapter 3 already did give us sliding back in Season 1, which was really cool. But Chapter 3 Season 2 gave us sprinting and mantling. 2 features that are so good that they're still used even in the OG mode, which I don't care what you say, that is a good thing. I do not want to play Fortnite without the really good movement. These movement mechanics kind of like contributed a ton towards making the game just flow better and feel better. Now, why do we have this movement? Because of another thing that we got added that season, zero build. Now, I may not be much of a zero build fan myself. I've always preferred build mode because, you know, that's just the Fortnite that I love. But the fact that this exists is insane. They took a risk taking the core mechanic of Fortnite that made it different out. We all thought it was just going to be a temporary thing at the start of the season, and now it's another core mode to Fortnite. And I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty game-changing to me. Even all them new modes made sure they had zero build. OG, that has zero build. Reload also has zero build. Ranked, there's ranked zero build. Ballistic, you can't build in that anyway. And I believe those 2 things right there kind of changed everything. We didn't have zero build in Season 1. We didn't have mantling or sprinting in Season 1. You see where I'm getting at here? And they didn't stop. Chapter 4 Season 2 is also a very enjoyed season from what I've seen. And, you know, I played it. It is really fun. This one changed up a lot of stuff, but maybe not in ways that you would immediately think, because we've got more staples of Fortnite to this day, all the way back in Chapter 4. Now what changed from Season 1 to Season 2? Mid-game objectives. That's the big thing. We had things like High Card, the Combat Cache, Loot Island.
What the heck?
We got a small taste of that in Chapter 2, Season 7 when we had like the Mothership thing, but this is when, the whole mid-game objective idea became a permanent thing to stay. Before that, you would just, run around until you found people, maybe look for a supply drop. Now you have things that people are going to contest and people are going to fight for, which makes mid-game fights actually happen more often. Because of that, we got new storm circles. Instead of the zones 1 through 9, we have zones 1 through 12, and they close more gradually, making it so that mid-game objectives actually work a little bit better. And once again, still used to this day. The mid-game objectives may be slightly different than back then, but the idea is still there. I mean, hey, we got the forecast tower, but it's not as big as this next one. Yeah, I'm just kidding, actually. Chapter 5 Season 2 didn't really do much compared to the other Season 2s in this, which kind of breaks the cycle, but I guess if I had to pick something, it would be medallions. I know Season 1 gave us medallions, but Season 2 changed them up a bit. Back in Season 1, every medallion gave you just shield, but in Season 2, they gave you different abilities, like, you had the Cerberus medallion that made you dash, the Zeus medallion that increased your mobility by a ton, that type of thing. And that's still how medallions are to this day, where they're all unique. I don't really know what else to say about that. They did not do much to keep the Season 2 formula going in Chapter 5, I will not lie. So let's just move on. This is where we are to this day, Chapter 6 Season 2, which came out a couple of days ago by the time this video should be up. Does it continue the trend? Is it absolutely game-changing like the other Season 2s? I mean, I think it's a little bit too early to say, but let's go over what we do have. They changed vaults, they revamped them. It's a more gradual process to open them now. You've got the new black market system, you've got the dill bits, which lets you get all the fancy stuff. It's a little bit hard to say how well it follows the Season 2 cycle because it's only been out for a couple of days, let's just be honest. But I know there is some more stuff that's supposed to happen. I mean, hey, there's like leaked exotics in the game right now, and they sound kind of crazy. I think that what matters here is that the new stuff that we're getting really does feel unique, and I think that's cool. Anytime anything in Fortnite feels unique, I think that's a very good thing, and this is one of those times. It feels different than Season 1, like there's a lot more going on. Season 1 was, again, just your typical battle royale, loot island, you go around, fight people, but Season 2 has got more going for it, so I guess in that sense it is following the Season 2 cycle. Will it keep it up? Come back to me at the end of the season and we'll find out. And with that, that is all of the Season 2s that we've gone through. Not counting like Festival or Rocket Race, especially not Rocket Racing. That's the cycle. I don't really see people talk about this cycle that often because I feel like not that many people have really paid attention to it. Season 2s are important, whether you realize it or not. They are very key to this game. You want to support me? Code ChuggaChug, #EpicPartner. Like, subscribe, whatever you guys feel like doing. Here's to this Season 2 being as good as the rest of them. Well, except for Chapter 5 Season 2, but let's be honest, that's a really low bar anyways.